Bem-vindos ao nosso espaço, um mergulho profundo nos assuntos mais interessantes de esportes, ciências e temas gerais do momento. Aqui você vai encontrar conteúdo de qualidade, com análises empolgantes e descobertas fascinantes, que vão expandir seus horizontes. Nossa missão é trazer informação relevante de forma dinâmica e descontraída. Queremos que você faça parte dessa jornada incrível de conhecimento e diversão. Se gostar do nosso conteúdo, não esqueça de deixar seu like e se inscrever no canal para não perder nenhuma novidade. Ative o sininho também. Aproveite!
If you love science, don't forget to like and subscribe. Have you ever looked at a power outlet and felt like it was staring back at you with a shocked expression? Or perhaps you've stared at a marbled bathroom tunnel until a map of a lost continent emerged from the veins of stone. This phenomenon is called pareidolia, the human brain's relentless tendency to find meaningful patterns, especially faces, in random or ambiguous stimuli. But what if this isn't just a quirky biological glitch? Scientists and cryptographers are now exploring a concept known as the Pareidolia Firewall, a method of encoding information so deeply within the architecture of human perception that it becomes invisible to traditional digital sensors. To understand the firewall, we first have to understand the hardware. Nestled within our temporal lobe is a specialized region called the Fusiform Face Area, or FFA. This neural circuit is so highly tuned that it can detect a face in less than 130 milliseconds. Evolutionarily, this was a survival masterstroke. It's better to see a face in the bushes that isn't there than to miss the face of a predator that is. However, this hypersensitivity creates a unique signal-to-noise ratio in our consciousness. Our brains are essentially pre-programmed to over-interpret visual data. The Pareidolia Firewall takes this biological bias and turns it into a cryptographic tool. Traditional steganography hides data within the bits of a digital image, pixels that might be slightly altered in color to represent binary code. A computer can easily detect these anomalies by analyzing the file's metadata or pixel consistency. But the Pareidolia Firewall operates on a higher cognitive plane. It involves cognitive steganography, where information is woven into textures, shadows, and noise in a way that only the human visual system, with its specific evolutionary baggage, can reassemble. Imagine a high-security document that looks like a sheet of gray static to a high-resolution scanner. To an AI, the image is just a collection of random entropy with no mathematical pattern. However, when a human looks at it, the subtle alignment of noise triggers the FFA or the object recognition centers. A face or a specific symbol emerges from the static. Because the computer doesn't perceive in the way we do, it only calculates, it cannot find the message. It lacks the subjective hallucination required to bridge the gap between the noise and the meaning. This concept is essentially a biological version of a CAPTCHA, but far more sophisticated. While modern AI is getting better at identifying skewed text, it still struggles with the sheer subjective nuance of pareidolia. The firewall aspect comes into play when we use these illusions to protect sensitive data against brute force algorithmic attacks. If the key to a cipher is hidden within a visual illusion that requires human consciousness to complete the pattern, an AI would have to simulate the entire human evolutionary history of visual bias just to know where to start looking. Furthermore, researchers are investigating how the Pareidolia Firewall might be used in adversarial patches. These are physical patterns that can be placed on objects to confuse AI vision systems. For example, a pattern on a stop sign might look like a harmless smudge to a human, but to a self-driving car's neural network, it represents a complete firewall that blocks the recognition of the sign. By understanding the limits of our own optical illusions, we are discovering the blind spots of the machines we create. But there is a deeper, more philosophical side to the Pareidolia Firewall. It suggests that our reality is partially a construction of our own internal filters. If we can encode data into these filters, it raises the question, has nature already done this? Some biologists argue that certain patterns in animal camouflage, like the eyes on a butterfly's wings, are a form of biological Pareidolia firewall. They exploit the predator's brain, forcing it to see a face that triggers a fear response, effectively hacking the predator's visual processing to ensure the butterfly's survival. As we move into an era of ubiquitous AI surveillance, the Pareidolia Firewall offers a fascinating path for privacy. We could create perceptual encryption for our homes or our clothing, patterns that look like beautiful, abstract art to our friends, but act as a wall of noise for facial recognition algorithms. We are learning that the very glitches that make us human, our tendency to see ghosts in the static and faces in the clouds, might be our greatest defense in the digital world. Our brains aren't just processing the world, they are actively guarding it through the art of the illusion. For more incredible facts like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.